During uncertain times, most businesses panic and cut their marketing budgets. But what if I told you that's the worst thing you can do? The brands that continue to market strategically don't just survive downturns, they come out stronger. We've seen it happen before. Studies show that companies that maintain or increase marketing during recessions recover faster and grow stronger than those that cut back. According to a Harvard Business Review study, businesses that continued marketing during economic downturns saw an average of 9% higher sales growth post recession compared to those that reduced spending. So today I'm sharing exactly what's working in marketing right now. No fluff, just real actionable strategies that are proving effective even in these uncertain economic conditions. Welcome to Brand for Good, the show for purpose-driven leaders who want to build timeless brands and create sustainable impact. I'm Lorraine Sugart, former PR and marketing executive turned founder of the disruptive agency Prosper for Purpose. I've worked with some of the world's most beloved brands, and I'm here to help you elevate your brand identity, visibility, influence, and impact. Are you ready to brand for good? Let's go. Welcome back to Prosper for Purpose. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to dig in on how to market right now. The big shift that's going on that you've probably noticed if you're active in marketing is that what worked before isn't working now. So before we talk about what is working, let's talk about what isn't. Traditionally, when the economy shifts, businesses tend to do one of two things. The first one is they stop marketing altogether to wait it out. And the second one is they throw money at paid ads in hopes of making up lost revenue fast. But neither works. In fact, history has shown that businesses that cut marketing lose market share and take longer to recover once the economy rebounds. So, for example, I had a client who used to rely heavily on ads, but as ad costs skyrocketed and consumer spending slowed, their ROI plummeted. Instead of throwing more money at ads, they pivoted and came to me for organic outreach, including LinkedIn content, PR, and email marketing. Within 3 months, they saw an increase in leads without increasing their ad budget. So that's an example of what isn't working. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that are working right now. I will say double down on owned and earned media. Owned media is the content that you control, your website, email list, blog posts, and earned media is PR and other things that get you exposure for free. Why this is critical right now is because consumers trust organic content over paid ads. In fact, Nielsen reports that 92% of consumers trust earned media like word of mouth and press coverage over traditional advertising. So I worked with a nonprofit that was spending thousands on ads, but they weren't seeing great conversions. Because I do only organic, so if you're looking for Facebook ads, I am not your person. But they were also working with me. And we focused on guest blogging, podcast interviews, and LinkedIn content, to name a few. There were a few other things we were doing. And through that, they became known as thought leaders, and their organic traffic tripled without increasing. As a matter of fact, they stopped their ad spend at that point. So, the action steps I want you to consider here are number one, SEO driven content. So think about answering the commonly asked questions about your industry. Do posts around that. Do blogs around that. Help the search engine find you. Number two is pitch yourself as a guest on podcasts in your niche. So that's really great. It creates backlinks to your website, which helps your SEO as well, but it also builds your brand authority. And this is something that we're working with all of our clients on right now. How can you not only be a leader in your business and in your category, but a thought leader in your industry? Number three is leveraging LinkedIn and X for thought leadership. I prefer LinkedIn, but we do have people that are using X very successfully. And to do that, you can share insights, not just talking about your services or promoting the same thing and offer day after day after day. Nothing will turn people off more quickly, but be of service. Show up and be of service. Your SEO driven content, your being guesting on podcasts, leveraging LinkedIn or wherever else you're showing up on social. Think about it as being of service, not promoting. The reality is when you let go of pushing your agenda forward and just show up and serve, more people will flock to you. They'll be attracted to what you're sharing and your knowledge, and you won't have to tell them to DM you or do whatever. Not that those things aren't valid. Yes, we should all be doing that sometimes. But to be a thought leader, you have to be less salesy and more service oriented. So that was the first category, doubling down on owned and earned media. The second strategy I want to share with you is to build a community driven brand. People buy from brands they trust. And in times of, we'll just call it uncertainty, trust becomes even more important. You've probably heard a lot of people talk about a trust recession. I'm hearing that, I'm using it. Yes, we are in a trust recession. So instead of just marketing at your audience, start thinking about how you can create a community. So, a business consultant I know started a private LinkedIn group where her ideal clients could connect and share insights. Instead of selling to them, she facilitated discussions. Within months, that group became her number one sales driver without spending a single dollar on ads. Some of the things you can do is think about where can I start a free community? LinkedIn, Slack, and Facebook groups. A lot of people, including myself, got really down on Facebook groups because Facebook was not prioritizing groups. They were not promoting groups. And so as a result, a lot of people who were in groups or running groups, both of which I was doing, weren't seeing updates. You really had to go to the group to find out what was going on. And people didn't do it because we're all busy. And if it wasn't showing up, unless it was something like, oh, I know there's going to be a training, I'm going to show up for that. And so Facebook groups died for a while, but Facebook is now reprioritizing them, probably to compete with other places that have started communities. But in any case, look at LinkedIn, considering a Facebook group. Slack is the other area. I'm in some communities on Slack. I don't use them as much. I think that you need to understand who your customer is and what platforms they'll be most likely to show up at to engage with you and your content. Another thing you can do to build a community driven brand is to host live Ask Me Anything type things and workshops instead of just posting static content. Get people live with you. Show up and say, I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything on bookkeeping. So if you're doing your own books, you can ask a bookkeeper your questions. I'll be here for an hour. And then you also bookend that conversation by introducing yourself, who you help, and invite people to learn more from your website, but you're not selling them. The thing that you can do to help build a community driven brand is engage your audience. Ask people what they need help with. Have a conversation where it's not you leading it, but you opening the opportunity for them to tell you what they need. The third strategy is AI plus personalization to get higher engagement. So I will probably do an episode on this. I have just really started using AI in my day to day work for tasks, for being a thought partner in brainstorming, but AI can actually help you create more personalized, ironic as it sounds, marketing without losing your voice and the human touch that comes with doing your own writing. Research by McKinsey found that companies using AI driven personalization see a 5 to 15% revenue increase and a 10 to 30% increase in marketing ROI. Now, before we all jump on the AI bandwagon and have it create all of our content, this is AI driven personalization. So there's things that you have to know how to set up in AI so that it understands you and your business, what you offer, who you serve, your personal preferences and beliefs, your voice. And that takes some serious work. But you can also use it to do research and to find common topics that are being discussed and understand what to address. And then you can do some of the personalization yourself, bring your own perspectives to it. A small e commerce business I follow started using AI to personalize some of their emails based on user behavior. And their open rates jumped from 18% to 42% just by sending the right message at the right time. So, one of the things that you can do is to segment your own email list. Maybe just don't send the same message to everyone. Use AI tools like ChatGPT or Jasper to draft content. Go back, and by drafting content, I am going to say more draft the outline, and then you go back and write it so it has your voice, it has your personal touch, and then test it. Analyze what's working and double down on the high engagement content. So, A/B testing, we all know about it. It happens in Meta ads and other places all the time. Think about bringing that to your email and see what happens, see what people engage with most, and then go from there and adapt. The fourth strategy is smart paid strategies for people who want to invest. So, again, Prosper for a Purpose does organic marketing. We help people create clear positioning in the market, their key messaging, and then we help them implement strategies around organic marketing. We no longer do paid, although we will write the copy for it. I believe people in paid advertising, especially Meta, need to be in the trenches on a day to day basis. And when I realized that, we stopped doing that. But all that said, I'm going to give you my perspective on using smart paid strategies if you want to still invest. So, if you want to invest, instead of spending on broad targeting, retarget warm leads, people who have already engaged with your brand. An example here is that one of my clients used to run broad Facebook ads, but was burning a lot of money with people that really weren't ideal prospects. And so they switched to retargeting site visitors who had not yet converted, and their cost acquisition dropped significantly. So, to that end, run retargeting ads instead of broad audience ads. Invest in lead magnet ads, which is your ad is all about some free download or mini course or free event that captures leads that people will think this is worth giving my email away for. And then the other one is you can partner with micro influencers instead of running solo ads. Again, I am not an ads expert. I am studying the data. I am talking to people that are doing this, and those would be my recommendations. Number 5 is customer retention and re-engagement. So we all know it's much easier to re-engage a past customer than it is to get a new one. But for whatever reason, most of us focus on always going after the new customer. There's a saying that says it's cheaper to keep a customer than to acquire a new one. Research shows that increasing customer retention rates by just 5% can boost profits by 25 to, wait for it, 95%. So, a local business I worked with was obsessed with finding new customers. But as we dug in to improve their communications and understand their turnover rate, we found out that they were ignoring their existing clients, like not totally ignoring them, but they certainly weren't focusing on building relationships with them the way they were their prospects. And that just doesn't fly. So we created initially a VIP customer appreciation email sequence, and repeat purchases actually increased by close to 30%. So Some action ideas or action steps here are, can you offer exclusive perks for your repeat customers? Can you send personalized check ins? So, can you send something out to your customers that says you're thinking of them, or emails to acknowledge them? Have a customer appreciation month and make that the focus of your emails to those who have worked with you before. And then run a re engagement campaign for inactive leads. This is a really solid idea that we are using, and some other companies I know are using. People that were leads at one point, or even you could extend this to old customers that you haven't been in contact for a while. Run a re engagement campaign. So if it's people that maybe got to the finish line and then wouldn't get back to you about their proposal, then you could start reaching back out to them. I know that we crossed paths before. Here's what's going on with the agency, that kind of thing. I'm simplifying, oversimplifying everything just to give you the idea. Same thing with former clients. Reach out. This one I would do individually if you can, and just see what's going on. Hey, in 2018, we did the brand work together. I see a lot of the messaging that we developed for you is still present on your website. How's everything working? How's business going? That kind of thing. And, or maybe get on the phone or get on a Zoom with someone and have a conversation. Thinking about customer retention and re engagement can really boost your profits. Now, I want to go back for a minute to marketing things that don't work, and we'll categorize these under marketing mistakes to avoid. So please, if your business is not doing well right now, and a lot of businesses and business people that I know are struggling, don't go silent. Brands that disappear lose market share. Be there, show up, be of service. Think about marketing differently, right? So you don't have to throw all your money at ads. Think about reaching out and bringing that human touch to the people that you want to work with. Marketing mistake number two is using generic messaging. Kind of that all our messaging right now is going to be recession proof. It's going to be evergreen. It's going to be just, general content that we used to just throw in there periodically to be present. So it's a step up from going silent, but not the right step up. You still want to be speaking directly to your audience's needs and pain points. Mistake number three is ignoring the data. So we really want to be paying attention to what's working and what's not. So A/B testing email, pay attention to what's working. Which message got more open rates? Did you have something for them to click on? Did you offer a free downloadable PDF? Who clicked through? Look at the names of the people, see where they're coming from, see what their history has been with your brand. It's more time, but it's worth it. Someone that I know that owns a company stopped all marketing during a downturn a few years ago, and they just really, really struggled to recover. And they were really upset that their competitor gained market share that they lost. And when I looked at this, the difference was that their competitor had kept on marketing. I could go back, a year and see all the things that they had done. Whereas the brand that had stopped their marketing assumed that everybody stopped marketing. And that's, we talk about these bubbles that we're in. The market is tough. So, of course, everybody's cutting marketing. No, they aren't. Marketing, hopefully, more intelligently. They're not going silent, they're not using generic messaging. They're actually leaning in and becoming more human and more connected to the people that they want to serve. And they're serving them. They're serving people by showing up. So the brands that win in uncertain times aren't the ones that disappear. No, they're the ones that adapt, stay visible, and provide value. If this episode gave you ideas, please share it with a fellow entrepreneur. And if you want more insights like these, connect with me on LinkedIn or drop me a message. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway. Until next time, keep showing up, keep marketing smart, and keep building your brand for good. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Brand for Good show. If you like what you heard, please hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and leave a review so other purpose-driven leaders can find this valuable content. To learn more about building a brand for good, please visit prosperforpurpose.com for more resources and information on all the ways you can work with us.